Hey guys, Neil here. Our Splendour in the Grass 2018 coverage continues, and we are joined by music royalty and Mr. Henry Rollins, who tells me about his plan to change the world. Check it out. What inspires you when you are working on these shows? I mean, say last night's show, was this something you thought of the night before? Was this something you've been working on for a couple of months?
No, they're just some ideas. I've been doing shows on and off all year in America, so it's just kind of new material, new ideas. I think for an Australian audience, you must spend at least 5 or 7 minutes saying, okay, you're probably wondering how America got a guy like Donald Trump. It's a good question, and I have the answer. So I broke that down.
What's the answer in a sentence? Or 2 sentences if it's too hard.
Trump was an eventuality.
Right.
If you go from Ronald Reagan to now, like America has been clamoring for a fake populist like Reagan. He's an actor. He sold it very well. Really good on stage, really can bring it. America has wanted a guy who's going to tell you everything's okay, who's kind of corny. We're tired of smart people like Obama. We want that cool, dumb guy. We got him. And so people have wanted a guy like Trump or Reagan since Reagan did his 8 years. They've never not wanted that. America wants, it's going to be okay. That's what they want to hear. And Trump said it. Hillary didn't. She said, you're going to have to work. And people went, nah, not so much.
Yeah.
So
how, with something like a Trump, when you said it's an eventuality, personally speaking, did you call that from a mile away when that was kind of in the works? When he was running against Hillary, were you like, this
I was
son
the
of a bitch
one
is gonna get in?
person I knew doing press in that whole election year. So I was doing every press opportunity imaginable. I was on tour. They said, and I did interviews from America to here to South Africa, everywhere. The big question was, do you think Donald Trump can win? And I said, yes. And that was usually met with, oh, come on, really?
So this was at the part where everyone was like, oh, Trump's just having a laugh. He doesn't really want to do this.
Well, he was just having a laugh. He didn't really want to do it. You're dead right about that.
Yeah.
He just wanted promo for his dumb show. And so he ran not thinking he was going to win. And I was the one person, besides, I saw a few different pundits on TV saying, not only can he win, but he probably will. I was in the, oh, absolutely, he can win. I don't have a crystal ball. But can he win? Yes. And he indeed won. And so I was one of the only people I knew who said vociferously, absolutely he can win. Do never bet on the American electorate. We will surprise you. We will go south real fast. And Trump sold it very well. The tell was when he got elected, I was in Washington when he got elected.
Oh, wow.
Couldn't sleep. I stupidly did a show that night. Dumb idea. Because I watched my audience bum out as they're watching on their phones.
So this is like happening.
I'm on stage like, and they're on their phones like, oh no.
Yeah.
You're great.
1 second, Henry. Yeah.
Yeah, and I watched my audience all night do.
Oh shit.
And as the show went on, they're like, by the end of the show, they're just like.
Did you have any idea? You're like, I wasn't that bad, surely.
I was on stage mortified for 2 hours going, I'm bombing. All this material worked great last night in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I was talking to a friend of mine after the show, this woman, Laylee. I said, how did I bomb? She goes, oh, you got to look at the internet. We have a new president.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, oh, it was the dumbest idea for a show ever. Anyway, I was on my tour bus in the parking lot waiting on the bus driver, watching the news outlets, and suddenly breaking news, Donald Trump's doing his acceptance speech. And it's the only time I've ever seen him on his heels, like, it's going to be great. And I realized he didn't have a speech.
He looked bummed out, didn't he?
He didn't have a speech.
Yeah.
He looked terrified, completely bummed out. And as I said to the audience last night, why was he bummed out? Because now he's going to have to take meetings, sit, read stuff.
Do stuff
on Sundays like, oh, the Girl Scouts are opening a swimming pool and I'm here in a suit on a Sunday. Yay. I want to be back in New York eating steaks. He never wanted the job, and he's a crap president. He just wanted the promo and be able to say mean things about other people, I'm saying about him now.
Well, that's the interesting part, because, I mean, there are very troubling times, I suppose, in the States.
Yeah.
If anyone can inspire, it is Henry Rollins. What do you say to the people in America, like, as far as staying optimistic, staying positive, trying to incite change?
Thank you for the question. Here's what I say. Let's get busy. And I said this while he was only president-elect. I was on tour the whole time. While he was president-elect, I said, okay, you're depressed, right? And my audience was like, I said, okay, they're going to come after women's rights. I was right about that. I said, so we got to get active with Planned Parenthood and any other women's rights organizations that are going to protect women's reproductive health care. They're going to be going after gay people. I was right about that. So we've got to be really stand up for anyone gay in this country who feels suicidal, who's being put upon, because this president and his people are going to go after gay rights. They're going to go after gay kids, and we're going to have to be really decent to each other, because a really coarse version of the American electorate now has a mouthpiece. This is kind of America 101, but I was right about all of it. So I said, it's not for us to be all bummed out and hide under our couch. Time to do benefit shows. Time for bands to start doing benefit records for the ACLU, for Planned Parenthood, I have a bunch of little companies. We donate to an organization that gets in the way. It helps LGBT kids who are suicidal. And my company regularly gives donations to different organizations. We, every few years, change them up and put our money in other places.
Yeah.
And so now we're, I think it's called the Trevor site. They're relatively new to me. The woman who runs my business, she was like, here's a new place we're going to put the money this year. And I looked them up and I was like, yes, let's do it. Yeah. So we've been kicking money to them. And I said, it's time for everyone at this show. We're just all going to get active. And we're going to neutralize this guy. Trump is temporary, but we're here for good. Yeah. And so don't get dismayed. Get active. Let's go. This is what Joe Strummer taught us. Like, we're punk rock, right? So let's get it. Let's get busy. And so I think a lot of bands have been making benefit records. Like Ty Segall made a great benefit record for the ACLU. Yeah. People are doing benefit shows all the time. I think the comedians and the musicians are really stepping up and generating hard cash and putting them into these organizations. And that's how you push back. Because you're going up against the American Congress. You're going up against a very well-moneyed campaign to limit free speech, limit gay rights, which is, to me, just equal rights for people. Go against women and their reproductive health rights. America's very misogynist. And where Christianity, which I have no problem with, it's now kind of getting mutated into this anti-woman, anti-gay, anti-brown person strike force. Yeah. So...
yeah, that's really interesting.
So there's work to be done.
Yeah.
And all you're doing is standing up for these other people. And I see it as my job to stand up for the people I disagree with. Like in America, Trump fans are called deplorables. I disagree with that. They're not deplorable. They just believe the guy. Yeah. You know, they're upside down on their house. Their paycheck isn't meeting what they owe. They got 3 kids. They're scared. And Trump said, I'm going to make it better. And they went, okay. And like Hillary, she didn't sell it. She doesn't connect with people. Trump connects.
Yeah. As far as being active, because I remember specifically right after Trump kind of came in, and there were comedians like John Oliver and Stephen Colbert that actually pondered, shit, all this time we've been spending, making jokes about Trump, has that actually kind of driven the Trump supporters?
Totally. It totally galvanizes them.
So do you think that kind of poking fun at Trump is only going to fuel that machine more?
At this point, no. I think he has his base. They are what they are, 38% of American voters. I don't think you're going to lose them. Otherwise, the Access Hollywood tape grabbing all that would have lost. If any other president, if that was Obama, they would have killed him.
Gone.
Are you kidding? Yeah. I mean, he'd be in Siberia. I mean, you'd never see him again. That would have buried Bush 1 or 2, that would have buried Clinton. Yeah. I mean, you just don't say that and be president. Yeah. Trump can do it. So he's never going to lose his base. So knowing that, putting him down, that's fun. But just telling the truth about him, and this is where you're investigative journalists. I have never leaned so hard on American news media like I do now. Not since the Iraq War, where I really need you, the investigative journalist, to find out and tell me what's up. And these people, you have all this new crop of young journalists in American media, late 20s, early 30s, tons of energy, super smart. They're all writing books. It's fantastic. They are kicking Trump's ass. They are finding out stuff about where his money's going, his links to Russia, his links to Russian oligarchs, money laundering. And so the way to get at Trump, the legal system, and energizing voters who will vote for someone else, energizing those kids who are now turning 18 this year by November, whose classmates got shot, who's have gay friends in high school and sees a president who's obviously homophobic, who hates black and brown people, and these young people have black and brown friends and listen to black and brown music and don't have their parents' racism. All of these people need to vote. And a lot of them will. And I bet I can tell you which way they're going to vote, not the way their drunken grandfather votes.
Yeah.
So things are changing because a lot of young people, like a fraction of my age, basically said, not today. And they hit the streets.
Yeah, wow. I mean, I feel like we can talk about Trump for another couple of hours, but
yes.
I do want to talk about a forum you participated in yesterday, a Me Too panel with a young Australian artist, Stella Donnelly, who was here yesterday.
She's amazing.
Yeah, what was your take on that panel?
I was honored to be the sacrificial male that was asked to be on it. And it's one of those issues that it's just a personal thing for me because it's right there with homophobia and racism, like misogyny and assault on women. It just drives me crazy, because it's just not in what I do. And when you find out how many women when you talk to them, like, oh, well, that happened to me 3 times, 2 bosses, my boyfriend's friend, and you find out every woman has just had some awful or semi-awful thing happen where there should be nothing happening like that. And so to hear all these fantastically articulate women from you have a lawyer, Bree, amazing, brilliant, to women from the entertainment aspect, an activist, Stacey, a journalist. You just have all these people coming from different sides of skinning that cat. And me, who I can flip the groping thing on its head as well, because I get groped. Like I do photos of someone reaches around and grabs me while their husband's taking the photo. Jesus. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. I mean, I've been poked and prodded and grabbed by people since I was 18 and got my face in newspapers. Yeah. I have people outside my house calling my name. I get touched in crowds. I get slapped on the back at airports. It scares me out of my skin. And so I'm not saying, oh, poor little me. I'm just saying I know a little bit of that grabby thing. But what women have to deal with, I can only listen, respect, and appreciate, but I'll never fully understand. Like being a Caucasian, I'll never understand the African-American experience. I'm not black. I can read about it. I can listen. I can try and get it. But since I'm not it, I'll never really understand. Yeah. Knowing I'll never fully understand what a woman goes through, all I can do is be an asset. To be like, because both Stella and the other girl whose name I can never pronounce.
Is it Tracy?
No, the other singer. Ooh. And it's this polysyllabic, beautiful name, and it's escaping me. I'm so sorry. Yeah. They both said, what's your best backup at a festival when you're walking through the crowd? Your friends. Just like have your friends with you. And so that's what I see myself as. Someone who can be a human asset, stand up vocally, speak out, and do what I can. But not being a woman, there's only so much I'm going to know. So my job is to listen, basically.
Given your experience and your time in the industry over the years, when we talk about this kind of subject and you look back throughout the years, do you think, holy shit, how did we miss that? How was something like that okay?
No, and a lot more women are speaking up. Being kind of a Hollywood insider in that I've done a bunch of movies and TV, I've heard a lot of talk. And it's not, these people aren't here to defend themselves, but some actors and actresses have quite a reputation for some really uncool behavior, just from being divas, yelling and throwing things too, or propositioning. Since they're not here, I can't verify, but I believe all the makeup artists who have told me about that person. Sure. I believe them. And so you've always known it's around. Like with Harvey Weinstein, I said this yesterday on the panel, there was comedy routines on popular sitcoms about, hey, watch out for Harvey Weinstein's hands. I mean, everyone knew Yet, and he got away with it for years.
Yeah.
This isn't funny, yet it's in a primetime 8 p.m. comedy show. Hey, did you unglue yourself from Harvey Weinstein this morning?
Yeah.
I took a crowbar and 8 men, or some stupid
Seth
joke.
MacFarlane, I think during the Emmys, made like a direct joke like about women having to
Like-
go to Weinstein's hotel. Everyone laughed.
Right.
Yeah.
And for some woman, that's post-traumatic stress for the rest of their lives. That is a life-ruining experience. You
Yeah.
lose your self-esteem. If you say anything, you could lose your career. And so the question gets asked, like with all the Bill Cosby accusers, well, 30 years, what took you so long? Shut your mouth. That's the answer to that. Like, the bravery it takes to say that happened to me, and all of a sudden the world is looking at you, and people are telling you you're lying. Your parents, like, why didn't you say anything? Your husband, your wife, your significant other. Do you get your next job, or are you now the problem? And so the amount of courage it takes for anyone to stand up. Men, like in America, the American military, you find out a lot of men get assaulted.
Yeah.
And so it takes guts for anyone. Like all these men are in their 60s, like, yeah, the Catholic priest. And like some old man breaking down in tears because he's never been able to talk about it. So talking about assault, man, woman, child, adult, whatever, it's really hard. And so there's no time, well, you didn't talk about it for 10 years, it's now null and void. No, it's as alive and awful as it always was. What took so long? Enough people, enough women in the industry, I think, who were A-list enough to like, what, you're going to fire whoever? No. And so what gets ignored, and I think it was mentioned on stage, is that non-famous women people get assaulted too in minimum wage jobs where your recourse is nothing. And this is an awful statistic. And you never really think about the person, the lady mopping the floor at the restaurant, when she gets assaulted, what's her recourse? She can't afford a lawyer. What's she going to do, call a cop? She needs that job. She really needs that job. She's got 2 kids back at the apartment. And so the sexual assault, it goes across every economic strata. It goes through every job description, entertainment, a restaurant. I mean, and you just wonder, maybe it's just something. Well, here's my quick fix. How do you make it, nail the guys now,
Yep.
but what do we do tomorrow? That's the important thing. How do we go forward? Because this can't happen again. It's just not in this century. Like, we got to fix it.
Yeah.
And so a great way forward to me is putting more women in positions of power. And this is not a revolutionary idea. At minimum 50-50. Me being a bit extreme, I'm in favor of 75-25.
Wow, okay.
Like where men are the 25%
Yeah.
minority. Because since the beginning of human organization, jail, court, your cave, my cave, property, that's mine, that's yours. Men have been running the show. So what you see from this to this is what happens. This is what you get, for better or for worse, where men run the show in every relevant civilization. There might be some small villages here and there where women run the show, but they're not building the internet. So I'm not putting them down. I'm just saying dominant Western culture. Men have run the show. Like 99% of the pie belongs to the men. Well, let's flip that. And let's widen out women's sphere of influence and see, and like, let's try that for 5,000 years and see how we go. Let's give it a whirl.
Yeah.
And if it's a bad idea, well, we'll just have to find out if that idea wasn't any good.
Yeah.
But I'd like to embark on that idea in about 20 minutes. And you know what I mean? Like immediately.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're seeing it in America. A lot of fantastic young women are running for congressional seats and local state seats. And like, here we go. Yeah. That's one of your great solves, putting women in charge. I don't fear it. I think you might end up having less war, better health care, because maybe women are not so money hungry. And I'm not trying to say men do this, women do that. There's awful women too. But maybe a creature that nurtures and gives birth might have a different idea of health care.
Yeah.
Like, we're here to help people, not to skim them for money for a pill.
Yeah.
So that's a way forward. And maybe more men advising their younger brother, nephew, like, hey man, that's not the way to go. Like, really. I come from a very kind of egalitarian punk rock scene from Washington, D.C., if there was a girl in the band, no one would, there's a girl in that band, like, that's the bass player. Like, we never,
Yeah.
Black Flag, the band I was in 108 years ago, we had a girl bass player. We never thought, it's like, get your bass, let's go. I mean,
Was the community around you though like that? Like, who's the girl in the band?
no one cared.
Yeah.
No one gave a damn. We just got on with
Which
it.
is the way, right? Like, it should be that way.
That's the way I reckon.
Yeah.
And like she was as tough as anyone I've ever played with. Whew,
Yeah.
man, like she could handle 1984 era Black Flag, which almost made me quit. So yeah.
Well, I mean, we've got this all on tape. You are coming back in 2020. Maybe we can rewatch the tape and see where we're at then and reassess the shows.
I would love to think that we're in a better place with all of this going forward. I think it getting better is kind of unavoidable. Because you look at like the audience last night, they're just not going to get this wrong.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're going to fall for the prejudices of the past.
Of course. Well, Henry, thank you so much, man. I feel like we can talk for hours, but we're literally getting the wind up. So
sorry.
I'll let you go, man. Thank you so much for your time, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Well, we'll do. Thanks.
I won't get no relief, and I won't get relief, and I won't get relief, and I won't get relief. 'Cause I pace a backtrack till I walk the same path, and I pace